Welcome, survivors. Today we're going to talk about Narcissist Logic 101, the ultimate crash course in the twisted, mind-bending world of the self-absorbed. Whether you've encountered a narcissist in your personal life, workplace, or the checkout line at Starbucks, this guide will help you understand the ironclad rules they live by, rules designed for their convenience naturally. Strap in, because we're about to take a deep dive into the magical, self-serving land of narcissist logic, where everything is always in their favor and reality bends at their will. Rule number 1, apologies are for you, not me. Let's start with the golden rule of narcissist logic. They are never wrong, ever. Even if they're caught red-handed doing something outrageously terrible, like stealing your lunch, wrecking your car, or calling your grandmother overrated, an apology is simply not in their vocabulary. But here's the kicker. You should be apologizing to them. 1. Did they forget your birthday? 1. You should have reminded them. 2. Did they lie to you? 2. Well, you shouldn't have asked such difficult questions. 3. Did they insult you? 3. Wow, why are you so sensitive? If a narcissist ever does say sorry, don't get excited. This is not an admission of guilt. It's just an elaborate performance designed to 1. Make you feel guilty for expecting an apology. 2. Prove how mature they are for even pretending to apologize. 3. Gaslight you into thinking you were overreacting in the first place. A narcissist's apology sounds something like this. 1. I'm sorry you misunderstood me. Translation: it's your fault for having basic comprehension skills. 2. I apologize if you were offended. Translation: I didn't actually do anything wrong, but you're annoying me. 3. I guess I could have handled that better, but so could you. Translation: I refuse to take full responsibility, and now it's partially your fault too. If you ever dare to expect an actual apology, prepare for the emotional Olympics, complete with deflections, blame shifting, and an award-winning dramatic exit. Rule number 2, if I'm late, it's fashionable. If you're late, it's disrespectful. The time paradox of the narcissist. If they show up an hour late to a dinner you planned, you should feel honored to have even been graced by their presence. I had a lot going on, they'll say, as they sip their overpriced cocktail like an A-list celebrity avoiding paparazzi. But if you are late, buckle up, because you've just committed a heinous crime. The narcissist will act as though they were abandoned in the Sahara for days, forced to sit alone and reflect on how utterly unimportant they must be to you. They will hit you with lines like, 1. Wow, I see where I rank on your priority list. Translation: I am your top priority 24/7, and I will accept no distractions. 2. I just think it's interesting how I always respect your time, but you don't respect mine. Translation: I do not respect your time, but I will pretend I do so I can win this argument. 3. Forget it. I don't even want to go anymore. Translation: I want you to beg me to stay and promise you'll never be late again. Narcissists don't just bend time, they control it. They will disappear for hours, ignore your texts, and then suddenly reappear with no explanation, expecting you to drop everything and cater to them. But if you dare to take more than 3 minutes to respond, prepare for passive-aggressive behavior so intense it could be its own Olympic sport. Rule number 3, I don't hold grudges, I just keep a record for future use. A narcissist will never forget anything you've ever done wrong, no matter how small, how unintentional, or how long ago it happened. Hey, they claim they don't hold grudges, yet they have a mental filing cabinet of your mistakes, organized alphabetically and by level of future usefulness. This is not forgiveness. This is strategic weaponization. The narcissist waits for the perfect moment, usually when they've been caught doing something shady, to pull out your past sins like an Uno reverse card. For example, 1. You. I really don't appreciate you flirting with my friend in front of me. 2. Narcissist. Oh, And I suppose you were a saint when you forgot my favorite ice cream flavor 2 years ago? 3. You lied about going out last night. 4. Narcissist. Funny how you suddenly care about honesty, considering you told me my haircut looked good in 2019 when it was clearly terrible. The narcissist doesn't forgive. They simply save information for later, like a villain preparing a dramatic monologue for the final battle. Another thing, a narcissist logic is a never-ending rabbit hole. Here are a few extra gems. Rule number 4. Your feelings are inconvenient to me. 1. If you're upset, you're too emotional. 2. If they're upset, it's because of you. Either way, your feelings don't count unless they somehow validate theirs. Rule number 5. I'm the exception to every rule. 1. They expect loyalty but will betray you without blinking. 2. They demand honesty but will lie constantly. 3. They criticize you but lose their minds if you critique them. Basically, rules apply to everyone except them. Rule number 6. I'm the victim even when I'm the villain. 1. Did they cheat on you? 1. You were too clingy. 2. Did they insult you? 2. You provoked them. 3. Did they ruin your day? 3. Why are you making everything about you? Somehow, you are always the problem. Final thoughts. How to survive. Narcissist logic. The best way to survive a narcissist is to not engage. If you try to argue with them, you'll just get stuck in a logic maze with no exit. The best thing you can do is recognize their tactics, protect your peace, and, if possible, run for the hills. Because at the end of the day, you deserve relationships with people who respect you, value your time, and, crazy thought, apologize when they're wrong. Be sure to like and subscribe to Narcissistic Mondays, where we drop new content every week to educate and empower you on understanding this toxic disorder. Until next time, survivors.